What's up, boys? It's Dual Factor once again in another video, and as promised as in my last video, the Lunalight Orcus deck profile, I am going to show you my Gravekeeper deck profile that I played a couple weeks ago. Notice this profile is not going to have an extra deck. It's not that I don't have an extra deck, it's just I am missing a lot of cards that I would play, and not necessarily missing them as in they're still packed away in some of the stuff I was moving, so I'm not 100% sure where they are. Plus, the deck is going to change because I'm not going to play the Extravagance build anymore because that's what I'm playing in this profile. And after playing it, I'd rather play the Demise build that plays Pot of Desires and stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun. It's one of the decks I've wanted to profile for a while because I've had this entire deck foiled out for God knows how long, but it's just been sitting in a binder. And I hadn't had the motivation to put it together. But I finally found the motivation to put it together, play it at locals. Royal Tribute at 3 is gross. And, yeah, there's not a whole lot to say, but before I start the profile, if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check out the X2 Drop podcast. Me and my buddy John, also known as Bingo HD, go check out his channel too. We do it every Monday. Just go check it out. We're literally just two guys just talking about the game, bitching, complaining, all that fun stuff. It's actually really funny, especially when me and him start arguing. Those are the best episodes. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get into the deck profile, as you guys all came here to see. Gorgeous, gorgeous Gravekeeper cards. So to start off, we have 3 copies of Gravekeeper's Commandant. Not much to say about him. He's a staple. This is his effect's really simple. You discard him and add a copy of not Terraform, but you add a copy of Necro Valley, which is the lifeblood of the deck, reason it functions whatsoever, and Necro Valley is just a very powerful card. It stops a lot of cards in the format. So yeah, 3 of them, but no, you have to play ulti first, so you don't draw them. You don't see them. Just putting that out there. 3 copies of Recruiter. He's just your floater of the deck. Whenever he goes from field to grave, he adds a copy of any Gravekeeper monster from your deck with 1500 or less defense. I am playing this over Spy because I just think it's a better generic card. But if I was going to play the Demise build, I'd probably switch over to Spy, but that's neither here nor there. But like I said, I just think he's a better generic Recruiter than Spy is currently, because the card's really slow, and this deck's a really slow deck as it is already. You kind of want to minimize on that, but it is what it is. 2 copies of Spiritualist. This is the polymerization of the deck. Let you go in the Gravekeeper Supernaturalist, and that card's insane. 1 copy of Descendant as one of utility card to pop cards, and then 1 Gravekeeper Headsman. For those of you who doesn't know what Headman is, he is a Wolfbark for your archetype, but he can only special summon level 4s, and he can special summon him back from the graveyard in face-up attack position or face-down defense position. No, he's unaffected by Necro Valley, so Necro Valley does not conflict with him in any way, shape, or form. A lot of people, for some reason, think that. But no, that's just basically, he's a... Like I say, he's a searchable Wolfbark, so that's why we play him. Arguably, this monster lineup could change because it's small, because we're focusing on Royal Tribute being at 3, but this monster lineup could change, but this is just what I played. On to the spell cards. The reason to play the deck, the Lifeblood, the best card. Necro Valley. This card's been errated God knows how many times, so the ultimate rare version is not the correct version, but no, Necro Valley is insane. So basically, cards cannot move from the graveyard, even by their own effect. Now, the original printing of it let it to where, and the previous printings beforehand, the cards could move by their own effect from the graveyard if it was their own effect, but now that doesn't happen. And then cards can't be banished from the graveyard either. So Necro Valley literally probably negates like 90% of the meta unless you're a true Draco player, but we're not going to get into that. The real reason to play the deck, 3 copies of Royal Tribute, is real simple. If you control Necro Valley, you and your opponent both discard all monster cards in your hand. That's insane. Especially if you just raw open it, you just go Necro Valley, you just go Necro Valley and activate Royal Tribute. Watch all your opponent's hand traps, all their Orcus cards, Thunder cards, all that fun stuff just sit in the graveyard where they can't do anything because Necro Valley says they can't. And then you just get to play for free, and that's broken. And not much to say about that. 3 copies of Necro Valley Throne. This is the Rhoda for the deck. Alternatively, too, it is also a double summon. A lot of people don't know that. The second effect is when you activate this immediately after it resolves, you can normal summon a Gravekeeper monster in addition to your normal summon that turn. So don't forget that part, guys. That part's actually really important. But yeah, more or less it's mainly used for Rhoda. So that's why you can get away with playing such a low monster count. is playing 3 is like playing an additional 3 monsters. So in reality, instead of playing, I think it was 9 monsters. No, it was 10 monsters. You're actually playing 13. And then the 1 copy of Stell, it's salvage for Gravekeepers. It lets you pull 2 Gravekeeper monsters out of the graveyard, and it cannot be stopped by Necro Valley. Keep that in mind. Arguably, I want to play more of this card. Maybe 2 copies, because it's been really, really important in your mid game, but I really don't think you have the room for it, and it's serviceable through Supernaturalist, so I think 1's fine for now, but I want to make room for a second. 3 copies of Extravagance. I just wanted to play this card, if I'm being 100% honest with you, and I thought it goes really well with the strategy. Now, looking at it after playing the deck, Demise is just a better card paired with like Pot of Desires and stuff like that, so we are definitely going to switch to playing the Demise if we play this deck again. So on and so forth. But it's broken when you resolve it. To pair with it, we play 3 copies of Duality. Like I said, you just want to see your... You do not combo pieces, but you want to see your game-winning cards. So that's why we're playing through that. Don't make fun of the Super Polys. I have not found my secret rares wherever I may have packed them away, but this card's insane. You just break boards going first. You can lay it as a trap. Like, card's broken. There's not much to say about that. Into your trap cards, we play 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. Not much to say that. I'm super excited this card's coming ulti. 3 copies of Crackdown. It's really good at interrupting your opponent's plays. You can take your opponent's Galateas, turn them into Dingers. You can take your opponent's Sky Striker monsters, turn them into whatever Sky Striker monster you're playing. You can take their Link 2s, turn them into Boral Sword Dragons. Like, there is a lot you can do. And the card's broken. 2 copies of probably my favorite generic trap card. And Stormy Mirror Force. A lot of times the only way your opponent has a way of outing your cards, especially like Supernaturalist, is running it over. And we can play that game all day because as slow as this deck is, it's just war of attrition, especially when you're playing powerful back row cards. And this card is surprisingly good in this meta. This would be the only deck I would ever consider playing Battle Traps in, especially since I like to think, as in old school Yu-Gi-Oh, you're a flippity-flop strategy. So there's that. Moving forward, though, I don't know if we're going to continue to play, but for now, it was good. It clears link boards. Orcus have a really hard time dealing with this if they've already burned their Crescendo, and you have your own counter trap to play against them too, which is kind of cool. Plus, they're at a disadvantage already because they're under Necro Valley, so they have to really conserve their resources. It's really good against a Thunderboard, now I think about it, because they don't have Hot Red anymore, so they don't have their Omni Negate. I'm trying to think what other decks I played against. I know I played against Marine Sus, and that, unless they make it with Crystal Heart, this card's a blowout. It is a very big potential blowout card, and I think it warranted the slot in the deck for this. And then, as I was saying, we have our own archetype-specific Solemn Judgment in Imperial Tombs of Necro Valley. Note this card does require a lot. You need to have Necro Valley face up, and you need to control a Gravekeeper monster. But when you meet those requirements, which is very easy in this deck, especially because of how slow-paced and controlling the deck is, indicate Spell Trap or Monster Effects. And that's broken. And also, because it has Necro Valley in the name, it is searchable through Supernatural, so keep that in mind. And then the last trap card we play in the deck is Necro Valley Temple. More or less what this card reads, if I don't have Necro Valley for any way or reason, you can activate it from your hand or graveyard. So just basically another way of ensuring that if Necro Valley leaves the field, it comes back. And also, while you control it and Necro Valley in the field, all your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack and defense. Or is it 500 attack and defense? Or is this... Yeah, so you have to control a Gravekeeper monster and Necro Valley are both in the field. And then they lose 500 attack and defense. So your guys are all getting increased by 500. Theirs all getting decreased by 500. It just makes it really easy to punch over their monsters and win for game. And that was my main deck for Gravekeeper. Like I was saying, I'm not going to show the extra deck. Because like I said, I'm missing a lot of cards. And there's just a whole lot there. But I will show you the card that I kept mentioning, if I can find it here. Is, Jeez, where'd it go? You'd think I'd be a little bit more organized when I'm doing profiles, you know? But that's okay. There's my Hayate. That's cool. There we go. This is the card I was talking about. Gravekeeper Supernaturalist. So this is the fusion monster that we got. If you're playing Extravagance, play 3, but if you're playing the Demise mode, you can probably get away with playing 2. But it takes 2 Gravekeeper's monsters to make. When it's on the field, cards in the field spell zone cannot be destroyed, and while Necro Valley is on the field, he can't be destroyed by card effect, and when he's fusion summoned, he gains 100 attack points for every level of the fusion materials used to make him. So theoretically, he comes out 2,800 or 2,700, just depending if you have a mixture of 4 or 3 stars. And then he gets a 500 boost by Necro Valley being on the field. So theoretically, he comes out 3,200, 3,300 every time. And then his other effect, you do have to activate his search effect. Keep that in mind, so if you don't activate, it doesn't work. But you can activate it during the end phase. You can add any Gravekeeper card or card with Necro Valley in the name. Yeah, 1 Gravekeeper's monster or 1 Necro Valley card from your deck to your hand. So like I said, it can search the trap card, it can search Necro Valley, it can search the trap card, it can search any of your monsters. Card's broken. That's all you need to know. Also, since you're playing Super Poly, don't forget, you can Super Poly this to yourself on your side of the turn and use it as a way to kill your opponent. But that's it for the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like I said, I am going to switch to the Demise build, so you'll probably see an updated one, especially once I find all my extra deck stuff, because for some reason I decided to be a genius and pack it in different areas. But, yeah, if you haven't, go ahead and check out the X2 Drop podcast that I show every week. Like I said, leave comments down in the section below. Let me know what you think. Tell me what I could do to improve it. And we'll get on with the next profile in the next video, guys. Peace.